And I'm Mark Evans. I'm Chris's older brother's best mate, and Chris's best mate's older brother. Okay, so it may seem a little unusual that there's three best men today, but if you know any one of us, you'll know we always come in a four. But enough about that night.
So everybody, welcome to the wedding of the new Mr. and Mrs. Parmley. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for being here. It's great that we can spend today surrounded by good friends and family and Simon Sweeney. Again, special mention goes to Joe and Joanne, who made it all the way from New York.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the first toast of the day we'd like to make is for the bridesmaid Sam. This is the second toast for the bridesmaid Sam. We're going to do another toast for the bridesmaid Sam. Because it's on my sheet and we're going to do it, okay? So if you can raise your glasses, I think you would all agree Sam looks stunning today, only to be eclipsed by the bride herself. Can we all raise our glasses to the bridesmaid Sam?
So, I'm going to tell you all about Chris, the early years. I first met Chris in the very early 90s when Mum and Dad ruined my life and decided to bring the ring home. I have to say the first few months and years were brilliant. I had someone I could boss around, forced to bring me food whenever I told him. Chris was quite a cute child growing up, as you can see. It's so nice to see that he's almost grown into his face. Some of you may not know this, but Chris really was a very active young kid. From an early age, he was always wanting to be doing things, spending time with our grandparents, so Mum and Dad could get leathered on the weekends, to having family holidays in foreign, far-off destinations such as Bishop Auckland and Otley. Honestly, we had a great childhood growing up, and that's solely down to our Mum and Dad. We did have a holiday in Corfu once, if you remember. And that actually kind of took a sour note when Chris pooed in the pool. And Dad had to fish it out with his bare hands. Probably before some Germans put a beach towel on it. Anyway, I know it may not seem like it now, but he did have a ridiculous amount of energy growing up. But weirdly, that all changed when he was about 13 or 14. He must have been using his energy elsewhere. I'm not sure what it was, but thinking about it coincided with the rise of the internet and him spending a lot more time in his room. That's right, he was playing Championship Manager on the PlayStation, of course. In truth, I've never met anyone so unbelievably chilled out, laid back with a great sense of humour, a very genuine, heartfelt, generous and supportive brother. And he's constantly saying nice things such as, "Has your ass got fat?" In truth, we've always been very close and we do get on very well. But like any brothers, we did have our scrapes growing up. But one day after a gig in Bristol, that all changed and the fighting stopped. Chris, being the annoying little brother that he was, when back at the hotel room at 4:30 in the morning, wouldn't listen to his older, wiser brother, who was kindly urging him toward bed, so we had a scrap. This was to be our last ever fight when I came off with a black eye and a bust nose and Chris didn't have a scratch on him. Isn't that right, Luke? Yes, Luke was also sharing the room with us, and Luke was so concerned that one of us would get hurt that he kindly pinned me down with my arms behind my back, while selflessly allowing Chris to delicately and gracefully kick my head in. So if nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, it tells us that the only thing stronger than brotherly love is the best friend love that Luke and Chris share.
Andy, to be honest, Chris has always been bigger and harder than you.
So myself and Chris really have been best mates forever. And we made a vow back in 1994 to always live our lives like our childhood heroes, Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas. We wanted to wear these suits today, but we couldn't get it past Karen. We must have done a pretty good job at this though, because Steve, Chris's dad, still asks us to this day, "So boys, which one of you two has the brain today?" I did go and visit Stephenville last week to get some ammo for the speech, and they told me of a time where myself and Chris sat an aptitude test to see which career would suit us. We both did the test, and we found out that there was no career suited. Steve was very upset about this. But me and Chris were absolutely over the moon about this because we could finally silent the door and watch films all day around Julie Thompson's house. We may have been dumb and dumber back then, but things have changed in the last few years. My buddy Chris has actually just finished his degree in business management. Yeah, I think it's amazing. Just let me know when you're done with the brain, Chris. When I think back to why I was so attracted to this skinny little white naughty boy, I remembered Chris was living every child's dream. He lived in a sweet shop. Myself and Chris spent pretty much every day together, and it's a shame we don't get to see each other as much now, but every other day we'll have to do. The Parmleys have always been a big part of my life, and Stephenville were literally are my second parents. They included me in everything when we were younger, and were always keen to let the boys try out new things. I remember Chris wanting to be a horse rider, a swimmer, a piano player, a windsurfer, a rock climber, even an archaeologist. And I would always be there, cheering my best mate on when he was failing at all these hobbies. But that all changed, didn't it, Chris? When Chris decided that this loyal friend was no good for him, and he wanted to try out Pontus, the new Swedish exchange student. There was no room for me anymore in the 5-seater family saloon, just the 4 Parmleys and Pontus riding shotgun. Chris then went over to stay with Pontus over in Sweden, which made me sick, because we were sharing beds together, and that was our bed, and we didn't do it for 14 years. To be honest, I would say I'm surprised that Pontus isn't on that table now, Chris, as your best man, but I've really thought about this, and it was never going to work. Your relationship was contrived. And do you know what? I've actually done a comparison table as why I'm more suited. And if we have a look, why am I more suited as your best man than Pontus? Distance away from you. Pontus is 876 miles away, and I'm only over 500 metres away from you, buddy. Your favourite football team? Pontus didn't like football, whereas I liked Middlesbrough the same as Chris. Favourite band at the time? Pontus didn't like music, whereas me and Chris loved Five. Keep on moving. The favourite food? Pontus wanted a smorgasbord, not without the pickled herring. Good luck getting that in Carlton. Whereas I would like anything that Villa made me, wouldn't I, Villa? Pork chops. And motives with Chris. Chris, he was using you. He only wanted to gain an English experience, whereas all I wanted was to care for you and honour you till Karen do his part. To be honest though, when Chris got back from Sweden, I said that Pontus was slagging him off and making sweets out of the shop, so that was a lie, mate, sorry about that. But we were ready to start our next chapter anyway.
Thank you, Luke. So, as I mentioned earlier, Chris is my best mate's little brother, but also my little brother's best mate. And as Chris will confirm, this is known as the best friend brother paradox. However, Chris means so much more to me than that, and over the years he's become my best friend and my brother too. Chris and I have experienced many adventures together, but we really started to hit it off when we started what has become known as the greatest band you've never heard of. The Supersonic Scientists, Chris. Yes, Chris knows what I'm talking about. This is mine and Chris's psychedelic experimental band that we started 5 years ago, but we've yet to record any music, play a single note, or even do an actual gig together. But for some reason, we tell each other how important and revolutionary this band is at every drunken opportunity. Joking aside though, as many of you will be aware, myself and Chris have been in several bands together. From the 60s influenced the Fat Turtles. From the 60s influenced the Fat Turtles. To the folk rock inspired Young Rebel set. But it all started with our first band, the Lurios. So the Lurios began when Andy and I were beginning to write songs together, and we had several failed attempts to start a proper band. One day our original bass player turned up and he told us he'd written a song, and he said it was called Happiness is Gangrene in an Elevator. So after we'd finished telling him to piss off, we decided we would need to look elsewhere for some new band members. So what we decided to do was we wrote a job specification for the new band members, the new drummer and the new bassist. There were 4 points. Number 1, they needed to be younger than us so we could manipulate them. Number 2, they needed to be impressionable so we could manipulate them further. Number 3, they needed to be uglier than us so we could manipulate women to be with us and not them. And finally, number 4, they would need to be weaker than us so they wouldn't be able to beat us up when we've been manipulating them all day. And Andy mentioned a young chap he'd been in a band with back in the summer of '91. And after a few weeks, Chris and Luke were hired because they seemed to tick all the boxes. Now, unfortunately, Chris and Luke have grown up to be bigger, stronger, better looking. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank both Chris and Luke for allowing Andy and I to be in their band with them. So thank you, lads. Thank you. Now, Chris's talents for bass guitar are known to all, and I would like to personally take full responsibility for that, for his musical development and all his musical achievements. But what you won't know, ladies and gentlemen, is that Chris has a hidden talent for songwriting. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to share with you today the first song that Chris wrote with a little help from Luke many years ago. And I think this song acts as a window into the mind of a great songwriter. It's almost a portal into the psyche of a genius. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Portrack Lane by Chicken Wire.
Out in the Portrack Lane, son, it's a very nice place to live. I live in Portrack Lane, Stockton. It's perfect for the kids. It's got a B&Q and collectibles. It's even got a prison. That's where the naughty boys go. The good boys go to Portrack Lane, Stockton. I wanna be here for life. I wanna be the Portrack girl and make her my wife.
You didn't think you'd be hearing that today, Greg? So we all know it's tradition to give the group the best send-off possible before the big day. Myself, Luke and Scott, where is he? Scott the back? Had the task of putting a joint stag do together for Chris and Mark. We had to really think about what Chris likes, what he would want to do, where he would want to go, and when we truly thought about it and considered all of our options, we realised we probably wouldn't care, so we went to Liverpool. Now we had an office-themed party where Mark was dressed as David Brent and Chris was dressed as Gareth Keenan. And we even organised for Chris to do his favourite activity. A massive thank you to all the lads who made the effort for the trip. You know who you are, it really was a special one, and the hangovers to prove it were week-long and terribly horrendous, but definitely worth it.
Yeah, so speaking of terrible times, one of the worst days of my life was back in 2016, the day that Chris met his true soulmate. Queen Karen Parmley. Nah, to be honest, it's mental how these two met. They met in the most random of places. Cuba on a Friday night. I was obviously there the night that they met, and I could see when I looked at Chris and Chris was looking at Karen that it was love at first sight. They do say though, weirdly enough, that you're attracted to people who look like your family members. And if we all look at the screen, I think that Chris looks exactly like Andrea. What can I say though about Karen? She's kind, caring, smart, and also really scary when she's had a drink. I've known Karen for many years and I do think the world of her. It's great now that the Pearsons and the Parmleys have now joined forces. For the last 3 years you both have achieved so much together, and we all know that this is only the beginning. As soon you'll be entering a new stage, parenthood. Chris, you're going to be an amazing father, mate. And Karen, I know you're going to be a good mother. You've had a lot of practice winding and changing Chris's nappies for the last 3 years. You two are a fine example of what happiness and togetherness is all about. And Karen, I really do think you are the best thing that's happened to Chris. Chris, I'm really proud of you, mate. You are my best friend. I won't forget the sleepless nights we used to have waiting for your parents to go to bed so we could steal fags and cans out the shop. I won't forget Roland and Steve taking me to France there many times and making me do demolition work on the flat. And I'm never going to forget the times we used to measure each other's winkies. And we realised we were the same size. I hope we get to do that again, mate.
So finally, as a recently married man myself, I believe it's my duty to offer Chris some words of advice and give him an insight into what he can expect from married life. In keeping with modern social etiquette, I'd like to pass this advice on through the medium of meme. And the first words of wisdom come from Scott Evans. Now, Scott said this to me 2 days before I got married, and he said, "You should never worry about getting married. It's the rest of your miserable life you should be worried about." And I can confirm that to be true. There he is. Secondly, ex-sub-postmaster extraordinaire Steve Stisher Parmley advises, if you have a fight late at night, Squire, don't waste your time trying to make up. Get a good night's sleep so you can start scrapping again first thing in the morning. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Beautiful words. Shakespeare. And finally, the last quote is, marriage was one of the best and stressless decisions I've ever made, and that's from Derek.
Okay, so with those words living long as all, I would just like to finally say that for anyone who is lucky enough to call him a friend, you'll know that Chris means the world to us all, and I'm so proud to call him my brother. I'm over the moon that he's found someone in Karen who makes him so happy and he can share the rest of his life with. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are able, will you please be upstanding for my brilliant brother, Chris, and his beautiful bride, Karen. In the